On a moonlit night, the sky was filled with shimmering stars. The towering mountains surrounding the Sun Temple were wrapped in deep silence, yet inside the temple, a storm of emotions was unfolding. The Sun Guardians, those who had protected the sacred flame for centuries, stood gathered around the altar. Mahtab, Raksha's mother, was enduring immense pain. She was the last guardian of the sun flame, and now she was about to give birth to a daughter whose fate had already been written. Suddenly, the sun flame burning on the altar flared with an intense, blinding light. With her last ounce of strength, Mahtab let out a cry, and a newborn emerged, a baby girl with golden hair, gleaming like the flames of the sun. Her father, Samyar, held the child in his arms, his eyes filled with wonder and sorrow. He turned to Mahtab and whispered, "She's the guardian of the future." But their joy was short-lived. The temple's seer stepped forward, his voice calm yet heavy with foreboding. "This child carries the light of the sun," he said, "but her fate is bound to darkness." Years passed, and Raksha was raised under the watchful eyes of her parents. She learned how to harness the power of the sun flame, how to control its energy, and how to use it to protect the world. But one cold and moonless night, everything changed. At the age of 10, the temple was attacked by creatures of darkness. Her parents, warriors of light, fought bravely to defend her. Before making the ultimate sacrifice, Mahtab led Raksha to the sun flame and whispered, "You are the only hope for this world. Protect the flame." Samyar, too, used his last strength to strike down the enemies. With her parents gone, Raksha stood before the sacred flame, the only thing she had left. That night, she swore an oath. She would dedicate her life to protecting the sun flame until her last breath. Raksha slowly opened her eyes. A warm, golden light illuminated the ceiling of the temple. The sound of warning bells shattered the once peaceful silence. She was lying on a golden marble bed, carved with intricate sun patterns. It took her a moment to regain her senses. She placed her hand on her forehead, touching the sun mark, the symbol of her destiny. As the guardian of the sun flame, she stood up and looked around. The walls of the temple were adorned with carvings of ancient legends, stories of past guardians who had protected the sun flame from darkness. But something felt different this time. The sacred flame, which had always burned brightly, now flickered weakly. She stepped toward the temple's center, where the sacred altar stood. A small, fragile flame trembled upon it. As she reached out to touch it, a deep voice echoed in her mind.
"Raksha, the time has come to fulfill your destiny. A celestial stone has fallen, threatening the sun itself. Only you can preserve the light."
Raksha's heart pounded.
"A celestial stone? Fallen?"
She murmured. Before she could process the message, a chilling sound erupted from outside the temple. It was a sound unlike anything she had ever heard, something dark, something ancient, something approaching. Raksha turned away from the altar and ran toward the temple's grand gates, colossal doors, adorned with golden engravings of the sun. But beyond those gates lay a sight she had never imagined. Shadows with glowing red eyes, their forms shifting and fluid, moved toward the temple. Every step they took drained warmth from the earth, leaving behind a lifeless, frozen ground. Raksha felt her pulse quicken.
"How can I stop them?"
She whispered. Her hand instinctively reached for the sun flame within her chest. And now,